a very bumpy and windy first day of lobster mini season. I got the whole family on the boat today like usual, but normally we come out here in the darkness on the first day of mini season, but today it's actually 4 p.m. We haven't even gotten the water yet, but this morning it was very rough. Kind of waited a little bit for the wind to die down, but it's still pretty bumpy out here and rocky. So we're about to jump in on our first spot.
We're gonna make it happen no matter what the conditions are today.
That's good positive thinking.
So there is like hardly any boats out here, which is totally different than what mini season usually is like. Mini season is the last Wednesday and Thursday of July, and it's the only time that recreational divers like us can come out here before the commercial fishermen put out their commercial lobster traps. So that's what mini season is. It gives everyone a couple day advantage to come out here and get some lobsters. The other thing we're dealing with is hopefully the visibility is good. It's been pretty rough for like a week now, so we're worried about the visibility. So we're about to see on the first spot how the viz is. All right, boys, go ahead.
Roll on in. We got some under there.
Got some?
Yeah, at least 2.
All right, or at least 2, Vic.
See you later, landlubbers.
They got the first lobster of the day. Nice job, Vic. He may not be the world's largest lobster, but he's the first one of the day, and he's a keeper, so he's coming home for dinner. They got another one. We're coming.
This is a good one. Look at that.
Nice job. Number 2.
Nice job, dude. That was sick.
Yeah, we pulled that off.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they both got one. Be careful.
Fisher grabbed that one. There was 2 in the rock. I netted this one, and then the other one ran off, and he grabbed it.
Yours doesn't look legal, Vic. So Vic and Fisher both just got a double. Victor's actually wasn't a keeper, but Fisher's was a keeper, so that is 3 in the cooler so far. Well, you guys got 3 keepers.
Yeah, we missed one. I thought I could see it from the surface. Went down to check the rock and then moved.
How was the visibility?
Visibility's not too bad.
Like 20 feet.
The current and the waves are annoying.
So we have moved spots. I'm about to hop in the water. Let's see what we can find. Is there just one, Fisher?
Yeah, I think.
We just found a lobster. In the water for about 2 minutes. Already caught a lobster. He's legal. Got another one.
we good?
Well, Fisher just found a really good spot. There's probably at least 5, maybe 6, maybe more, I'm not sure. That's a big boy, there's a lot here. Jed just caught had eggs, so he let it go real fast, but I think we have 14 keepers in the boat now. That spot that we were just at was really good. We picked up like 7 there. That was a good spot. And there was a ton more, but they all looked really small, so we didn't even bother catching them.
Some aqua man stuff there. Man. What was that, Jed? The mid-air snag.
You just went like 20 miles an hour underwater.
You really taped her in the dolphin there.
Yeah, buddy.
Half man, half fish.
Whew. Oh, worth it.
found a giant anchor. That thing's got to be worth a lot of money. So we put it in the boat, and I guess we'll try to sell it or something.
Another good one. This one was just walking around in the middle of nowhere.
He walked into the rock we were
did.
working on. Nice. Two more. Can you throw the water? I'm gonna get in. So the boys just put number 24 in the boat. I hopped in the boat to change the GoPro battery because it just died, but it's the perfect opportunity to take a little element break. I think I've been in the water for maybe close to like 3 hours or something, so gotta replenish those electrolytes. So that's where today's video sponsor comes in, which is Element. So I'm gonna meet you guys back at the dock to tell you a little bit about that and then back out on the water. So Element is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing that you don't. So what does that mean, you may ask? I unfortunately have always been one of those people who never seems to drink enough water, so I always suffer from dehydration headaches. But since finding Element back in January and implementing it into my life, I no longer suffer from those headaches anymore. Element can help prevent and eliminate headaches, muscle cramps, fatigue, and other common symptoms of electrolyte deficiency without all the added junk. That means no sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, no gluten, and no fillers. So whether I'm on the boat fishing all day, diving, going to the gym, or just out here in the backyard doing yard work, Element helps me feel my best. If you guys are interested in trying out Element, right now they are offering you guys a free sample pack with any purchase. That means you get to try all 8 delicious flavors. Go to drinkelement.com/Brook Crist, or there will be a link in the video description. Make sure you guys use that link or type it in, drinkelement.com/Brook Crist. Now, let's get back on the water, catch some more lobsters, and mix up an Element. Right, so I'm choosing the citrus salt, which is kind of like a limey flavor. My dad is gonna have the watermelon.
Ah, that is refreshing when you're on the boat. That tastes good.
So unfortunately, I don't know what happened earlier, but when it was just Fisher and I in the water, I dove down and I had this intense shoot of pain in my jaw. It was just on one side, and it was like my upper jaw, which like normally you always think like your sinuses. I don't know why it happened. It lasted for like a minute, and it was just like this really intense pain, and then it went away, and then I kept diving. And then when we found that area where there was like 8 or something, and we left some that were too short, it happened again, and this time it didn't go away. And I had this really bad shooting pain, and I couldn't dive more than a foot underneath the surface of the water. So I'm assuming it's something with my sinuses. I do feel slightly congested right now, but I didn't earlier, so I'm just giving myself a little break now because I don't want to push it and injure myself at all. It definitely was not a good feeling. So here is the giant anchor that Fisher found. This thing is huge, and it's got a lot of decent looking chain. My dad said it's made of stainless steel. It says 3/16 on it right there, so you could probably clean that baby up. And what'd you say, Dad? You think it's probably worth like $1,000?
I think it's $1,000 anchor. That's 3/16 stainless. It's not cheap.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
That was the biggest one. Lobster gold. The legal limit today is 12 per person. During mini season, when you're in Broward County, the limit is 12 per person during mini season. During regular season, it's only 6 per person. And if you are in like the Florida Keys, it's only 6 per person during mini season. So it's a little incentive that they give you to dive around here like we do. But We didn't get anywhere near our limit.
I would say that could be the first mini season I never went in. I'm so used to going at the crack of dawn. That's my style, and it's been flat as glass, gin clear for the past 10 years, and that's what I'm used to. Today we woke up and it was like 3 to 4 and we weren't going to go, and then Brook called around 2 o'clock in the afternoon and said, I think it's laying down, I don't want to miss out. So we all rallied up. Took us about 15 minutes to rally up, and we were out here in probably 45 minutes, and it wound up being actually fairly nice. But I was happy just to run the boat today, because I don't really enjoy diving when it's that rough. So I'm gonna hit it tomorrow. I think it's gonna be a little bit nicer tomorrow.
Brooke's the real MVP. She cleaned everybody's masks yesterday, and apparently mine won the award for being the dirtiest, which is not the kind of award you want to win. So this is a PSA to everybody to clean your masks before you go out there, and so you don't get sick. It was a great day, and we'll be back at it tomorrow.
Today was one of those days where, everyone was kind of on the fence of going, but Brookie got the team together, and she was the motivation behind all of us going out today, and it paid off. We didn't get our limit, but we don't need one. We got plenty to eat, plenty for the freezer, and we got Brian's world famous ceviche coming up. Life is pretty good.
Leaving work a couple hours early to go out there and catch 28 lobster is, there's nothing wrong with that. The weather was pretty bad when we first went out, but if you look around, it's not that bad. We made it happen, and a great first day of mini season. Even though it was a little unorthodox for us and we didn't get an early start, I'm glad we still went out.
I had a great time. It was a little rocky, but it was a lot of fun watching you guys catch these and me being the netter. It was a lot of fun. Can't wait for tomorrow.
Whenever Deb is with her kids, she's always smiling, and that just makes me happy to see her smiling. So, we were going to work today, and when Brook wanted to take off, and I knew that would make Deb smile. So I'm like, yeah, let's go on the boat.
I am very happy that we ended up coming out here. Not the most perfect conditions, but we made it work, and we got lobsters in the cooler. So I am very, very satisfied with today. Ready? Alright guys, so we are back at the dock. No,
27.
Oh, I see it. You did. Oh my gosh.
What a lucky.
Did you get it? No way. Hit in the pot.
Well, no. Oh, okay. So
You gotta talk about it. It was on video. I happen to be recording.
Are you sure it wasn't this one? Oh.
Whoops.
When you're ringing lobsters, sometimes you forget and you throw the wrong piece in accidentally. And normally after you've done like a bunch of them, you do that, but he's only done like 3 and he already did that. But that was good. You jumped in and landed right on the tail and pulled it out. So we are back at the dock and we are cleaning our lobsters now. I'm going to show you guys quickly how to clean a lobster. I've showed you a bunch of times, but I might as well just show you again. So it's very simple. Get yourself a nice pair of gloves, because if you do this without gloves, it's just painful. You don't want to do it without gloves, because you got the horns of the lobster, the antennas have spikes on them. Like, look at all this stuff. It's just not very friendly for hands without gloves. So you're going to take one hand on the head, one hand on the tail, and then you're going to twist, and some salt water is going to come out of there. So now here's your tail, and break off the tip of the antenna just like this. And this is what you're going to use to clean your lobster tail. You're going to take that tip of the antenna and you're going to get out the digestive tract of the lobster. So you're going to stick the antenna in, and it has backwards facing spines that's going to grab that digestive tract and pull it out. That's where all their poop is. There's always a bunch of sand and nasty stuff in there, so you definitely want to get that digestive tract out of there before you clean and eat these lobster tails. I'm going to show you guys something pretty cool with some of these tails here. These are both male lobsters here. This is a female lobster. Female lobsters have an extra set of like swimmerettes underneath their tail here. As you can see, the male lobster only has the one set, where the female has this And this is where they carry their eggs. So when we caught a few lobsters today, they were holding them underneath their tails with this right here. So something that's interesting is these are both male lobsters, so it's not like they hold eggs, but look at the meat of this one is orange and this one is white. Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. But when you cook them, they will turn white just like this one will. So, all right guys, so it's actually the next day, day 2 of mini season. We have a cooler full of lobsters here. I believe it's 62. Our limit would have been 72 today, but we caught 62. We didn't need our limit, but we had an incredible day again today. I'll have another video from today coming out soon, so be looking forward to that. But I realized that I forgot to talk about the nets and tickle sticks that we used all day long while catching the lobsters. We used these again all day today. We've been using this net for 10 years. I make them handmade on my website, FloridaLobsterNets.com. This net is absolutely amazing. Fisher uses the tickle stick to tickle the lobsters out of the rocks, and then you use the net to place behind the lobster tail, go down on top of them, and then grab them in the net just like that. They can't see the net because it's clear. It also helps because it's shallow. It gets in a lot of tight little tiny spaces, and once they feel it, when you lower it on them, a lot of times then they'll shoot to the back of the net, which is when you see them kind of get caught in this little tiny pocket back here, which is perfect. Just grab them in the net, take them out, and you got dinner. I'm gonna show you quickly how to gauge a lobster. This is a nice big boy here, but you're gonna take the front of your gauge, put it between the eyes of the lobster, and if the back of the gauge touches the head like this, it's a legal lobster. So this lobster is like 3/4 of an inch, almost an inch bigger than it needs to be. But if the back of the gauge fell behind the head, behind the carapace, it would be too small. Also, if it was touching the head just like this, a lobster needs to be greater than 3 inches. The space between a gauge is 3 inches. So if it was touching the back of the head just like that perfectly, that would mean your lobster is 3 inches and it's too small, so you gotta let it go. So thank you to everyone who has already purchased a net, a tickle stick. I have lobster gauges, I have mask strap covers, and I have some t-shirts. So thank you to everyone who has already purchased, but these things are amazing. You saw us use them all day today to catch everything. And then every single lobster we caught today, all 60 of them were with these nets and tickle sticks. So FloridaLobsterNets.com if you're interested. We're about to whip up some ceviche, so I will see you guys in the kitchen. So by the time we finished cleaning our lobsters yesterday, putting everything away, it was around like 8 o'clock, and we actually had pizza for dinner last night because it was just too late to do anything. So today we are doing my dad's famous ceviche recipe. We do this every single mini season. And how many lobsters are we putting in it this time?
27 lobsters. It's probably the most ever.
So we're gonna do 27 lobsters in this ceviche recipe. I'm gonna hand it over to my dad, and he's going to tell you how he prepares the lobsters for the ceviche.
Okay, so I've been sitting here for almost 2 hours. This is 25 lobsters worth of meat. And I take one out of the boiling water, and I put one in the boiling water. I don't really time it. I leave it in there in the amount of time it takes me to clean one. This happened to be a soft shell, this one here. You can see how rubbery even the outside shell is, and then the inside shell's, you know, going to be pretty soft. But I'm still removing it because I don't want anything but the primest of meat in my ceviche. So the first thing I do is cut off the head meat because there's no skin on that. That's the most delicious meat in the lobster right there, that head meat. Then I take and I cut off these little tails because I don't want anything chewy. These are edible. You know, in all your other recipes, you can eat them. But in my ceviche, I want everybody just to bite into the most delicious lobster ceviche they ever had. So I do my best to get all that rubbery skin off. I'm proud of this recipe, so I like to share it. I share it up and down the street with all the neighbors. I know how many people are in each house, and I make them all little containers, and I drop it off to them. So I'm pretty sure they all expect it a day or two after mini season to get their ceviche, because I've been doing it for years. So that took about 2 minutes. So I take this one out of the boiling water now, and then I quickly put some cold water on it to stop it from cooking any further, and also makes it easier to handle. And then I put the knife right down the center, like that, in both directions. I take my thumbs and I crack the shell and just stick my thumb in here, pull that shell off, pull that shell off, and then repeat. Cut off the head meat.
So as you guys can see, the lobster is not completely cooked. You see that? That is raw inside. So he's just parboiling them so they come out of the shell a lot easier. What do you got over here, Fisher?
Got some sweet onions going on.
Nice. All right, guys, so the next step after you have your lobster finished is the lime juice. We want to completely submerge this, and then he likes to do half as many lemons as limes, right?
I like to do 2 limes per lobster, 1 lemon per lobster.
So that's what we're shooting for. 2 limes per lobster, 1 lemon per lobster. So I am just squeezing the lime juice in here first. Even though we wear gloves when we're lobstering, occasionally you'll grab a lobster just the perfect way and he'll get through your gloves. So I have all these teensy tiny little cuts on my hands, and boy are my hands burning while I'm doing this, because this lime juice is all in my fingers and it is lighting me up. Jed's pre-squeezing some lemons over there. Fisher's cutting some celery now. We got 3 different kinds of bell pepper: orange bell pepper, red bell pepper, yellow bell pepper. We got some red onion, sweet onion. We're gonna do some scallions. There's a lot going into it, but we all get together, sit here, cut different things. It's just kind of our family tradition now to make this ceviche every year.
This is my shopping list. That's for 12 lobsters. So I doubled everything on that list.
You guys just got to see the secret recipe. All right, so we'll see you after we do a lot more lime squeezing.
The person who taught me this recipe believed that salt helped in the actual cooking of the lobster as well. And he's the one who turned me on to this. I don't use this salt for anything except this really special recipe. It looks like snow. It's just amazing. So I would use this 2-ounce container for my 12 lobsters. Look at this. Now that stuff just is gonna just melt in there, and that looks like a lot of salt, but it's not. I'm actually gonna use twice that much for this batch. I can already see it melting in there. So we're gonna let that ferment on. I don't wanna salt all my vegetables and dilute this amazing salt. I just want to salt my lobster. So right now I'm just, because the vegetables don't need to be cooked really. So it's the lobster. So we're concentrating the lime, lemon, and salt just on the lobster for now.
I want to see you squeeze a lemon, Jen. Wow. Good job. What do you got going on over here, Vic?
I'm crying.
Are you crying?
I'm crying.
From scallions?
Earlier,
You didn't even cry from the red onion, did you?
Fisher was like, the green onion's the strongest, and I was like, no way. Here I am crying away. This green onion is potent, I tell you that. But yeah, we got 3 different kinds of onions. This is Brian's world famous recipe, as you guys know. And it is so flavorful and refreshing after a hot day of diving, and healthy. Look at all the stuff that's going in there. Vegetables, there's no oil, there's no fat. It's a fisherman's delight. It's just good stuff.
So when my dad went to the store today, he bought these thinking that he was buying oranges, but they are actually grapefruits. So he wanted to do 4 oranges, but my mom only had 2 at the house, so we got the juice of 2 oranges as well.
Oh, just strain all of them.
All right, so everyone helped out and we have everything ready for the ceviche. The lobster has been in the refrigerator now for 20 minutes with just the lime juice, and check out how white and beautiful this stuff is. It's time to mix all of our ingredients together. So let's get to it. Let's see if we can do this without spilling. So the easiest way to do it is in this big pot. Time to add everything in. So we got some yellow bell pepper, red bell pepper. Ceviche is one of those things where you could really put whatever you want in it. If you are not a fan of bell peppers, then don't put bell pepper in your ceviche. If you're a fan of really spicy ceviche, add some spicy peppers in there. If you're not the biggest fan of onion, you know, then skip out and don't do too much onion. But this is the way we like it. So we did some orange bell pepper, red onion. This is celery. Here is some cucumber. It's funny, we were just at ICAST, which is this like big convention in the fishing industry, and Victor and I actually filleted fish at the Dexter booth and whipped up some fresh ceviche, and the only complaint we had, I think we served close to like 300 cups of ceviche or something, and we only had one person complain that he hates cucumbers, so he didn't enjoy it as much, but he said that his wife would have loved it because she loves cucumber, so that was funny. So if you don't like cucumber, then don't do cucumber.
Yeah, but that guy came back and ate 2 more.
Yeah, he did come back though. He did eat a bunch, so even though he doesn't like cucumber, he still enjoyed it. Oop, we're spilling tomato juice. All right, so tomato, scallion, green onion, and then here is cilantro and only 1 jalapeno. We probably would have done more jalapeno, but there was literally only 1 left at Publix this morning when my dad went shopping. So there's only 1 jalapeno, but we do usually add some Tabasco, and like I said, if you really like spicy stuff, then you can always just add some more heat into there.
Let's do 1 drop of Tabasco per lobster, so 27 drops.
So the next step is we're going to put in the lemon juice and those oranges that Judd squeezed, and my dad likes to do 1 drop of Tabasco for every lobster, which you might think doesn't sound like a lot, so again, do what you wish. This is what we like to do. So I'm gonna put it in here before I pour it into this big bowl. There's only 20.
That's not drops, that's
Swashes.
I don't know what to call those, but that's enough.
Splashes. They weren't drops, they were splashes. I was told to stop. We're gonna strain this because there are some lemon seeds in there. Time to stir. This is a lot to mix around. Oh, we're gonna be set on juice, I think, Dad. Once everything gets all mixed in.
And your vegetables will release a lot of juice too.
Oh yeah, this stuff is beautiful. We are nice and stirred now. Check it out. How gorgeous does that look? My mouth is watering. Just stirring this. You want to come take a peek, Dad?
Oh, that's what you want to see. You want your liquid level to be flush with the top of all your ingredients. That's perfection. Now we're going to put it in the pretty crystal bowl and really have something to look at. We're trying it today, and it will be good today, but tomorrow it'll be fantastic.
Well, we've moved it from that big mixing pot into these 2 bowls. Gorgeous. So it's been about 30 minutes, but we are all going to have a nice little bowl full and experience our first ceviche of the lobster season.
Okay, so today was perfect, but this is gonna be the perfect ending to the day. And then every time we have ceviche, my favorite part is this. All those flavors accumulate at the bottom of the bowl. You get the lime juice and oranges, cilantro, all that stuff. Even the lobster flavors the lime just a little bit. My favorite part of the ceviche right there.
that ceviche is always bomb, and I don't know how many years in a row we've made it, but no one's ever getting tired of that, and I think our neighbors are all happy that we keep making it and keep sharing with everyone, because it's hard to beat. And we love lobstering, and being able to have something we can cook this quick and just all share the same day is pretty neat.
Watching y'all sit here and chop up vegetables together, it's just really fun and really touching and sweet. Had a great day. Thank you guys.
It's crazy. We've been doing it so long. I mean, we have it down to a science at this point, catching lobsters. I mean, it was either Brook on the bottom or me on the bottom while Fisher sat down there and tickled lobsters out. And my dad got in the water, Victor, whoever, like it's one after another. It was a fantastic day. Just super lucky that we get to do it as often as we do. And yeah, looking forward to the next time we're out there.
Well, it has been a few days, and I'm pretty sure my dad has now given away every single bit of ceviche. We all got to enjoy it, share it with friends, which is always incredible. Again, if you guys are interested in getting that free sample pack of Element with any purchase, go to drinkelement.com/BrookCrist, or I will have that link in the video description. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.